This is pretty horrible. Thinking about it, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to eliminate this altogether for now. It is an important thing which I will have to come back to. I'm just going to run it again because this is the stuff. This is the first thing I'm actually really doubtful about. Don't feel I've thought that through well enough at all. So I just want to see how much that changes the output. Actually, I'm still getting, I think I was getting an array out of range, array index out of range. I'm going to move this along here. Okay, very little difference. One little thing I notice is that this does come 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 along here. And this comes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 along there. It's a tiny thing, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe there's one individual part of this I'm getting right. What happens if I move that down there? I bet I get an array index out of range. No, I did not. Look at that. Look at that. What on earth changed? I'm clearly doing some sums wrong, and look at that, too. Well, I clearly am doing some sums wrong, but I feel like I'm doing some things right. This number 2 means, in my mind, 2 lines are overlapping. And I'm not drawing first and last. Well, I am drawing both first and last pixels. Okay, well, let's just have another little... Oops, move that over there. Remove that. Array index out of range. Okay. V float with 6 part. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, it's that matrix. Inside response. No, not response. Where is it? Self? No. What I want. Ugh. Sorry, I'm just going completely silent when I'm thinking to myself. I want to know what data offset is, and I want to find it in here. I find these things hard to interpret. It's like, where that is, data offset is stored in the recursor class. Maybe I just can't get to it from anywhere in here, or maybe I just don't know the way. No. Okay, I'm gonna get it to start printing things out. And the things I'm going to get it to print out are this. Line start and line end. Because it should overload me with information. He said. Where do I begin? ls line extents this is along X. It's not very good, but plus string of ls plus line end plus string of line end. And oh boy, there, line extends along Y. Now, one moment. Now I do want to print something else. That's not quite enough. I want to know what data offset was there. How high did it go? How did OX or OY? Well, I suppose this will give me some information about that. Because LS, well, too late. Well, actually, hang on, let me have a look here. No, I thought I saw something that made some difference, but anyway. First off, let's just do that, because I think that worked before. Or rather, didn't crash it. Now see that? First off, I totally forgot to change the letter X. That was silly. But both of those are, like, totally correct. Like, no joke. 0 to 4, 0 to 4. That's the low and high end of both of these lines. Okay. Now this should, well, it will crash it, I believe. Oh no, it doesn't. Okay, now that just made it wrong. That's 0 to 5 and 0 to 5. Not correct. Okay, let's have another look. Did I just... Oh, okay. Went along X both times. I didn't get this wrong. I somehow got this wrong. Absolute dx is greater than absolute dy. Yeah, and in both of those, these are x moving lines for sure. It's figured out these wrong. What a surprise that should be to me. But then I rearranged it slightly more and it got it kind of right, didn't it? Can't remember, let me try again. Yeah. Zero, 1, 2, 3, 4 for along x, along y 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 along y. In this position it got it right. Still drew this incorrectly, but can't have everything. So it's a bit strange that it got it correct in one position and not the other, but, well, can't have everything. Now I can crash it, but I can get the readout. Outer range, 5 and 5. Okay. it went along X both times. That's a very strange thing for it to do, but okay. It went along X both times. I've got to... I'm going to have to print something out in here, haven't I? I'm going to have a little think. Let's say well, it got to the second line anyway. It still thought it was going along X, which it was wrong about, or should have been, but anyway. If X got to 5, I'm going to have to print out more. Yeah, may as well print out OY as well. OY start plus a truncated float of oh no, OY is just a number. I think I'll actually try dy start, truncated float of dy plus grad value, which is the truncated float of grad. Now, do I want to run it again like that, or do I want to have a little think? If this got to 5, like I can actually kind of... can I see where it's going? I don't know if I can. I can see that this crept along 1. Yeah. Just wasn't right though. This one came out with this pattern, and this next one, it's disguised behind that save box. How annoying. I can see this getting closer to this edge. This lowest edge is, you know, her. That is really going to make me cry, having that mouse wheel be so badly behaved. dx start and gradient. But let me check first off that I'm not doing some weird transposition. Lx and Ly. Do I even use Lx and Ly in the end? I don't. I still end up using dy. Is that a mistake of mine? Where I literally do not use Lx and Ly, do I? And here, I don't even pretend. I mean, I'm pleased if that's true. I think there's probably half a dozen little things up there I could get rid of, and I'm going to have a quick look just now, because anything I can is worth it. Like, yeah, I've got LX and LY. Just going to ram them out. I'll soon see if I've got a problem with that. Don't think I should. So, right, yeah, my LS OL SY LEOLEY. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's correct. OY equals LS to LE. Stack the sign of dy. OX is the integer of dx. Yeah. Well, for one thing, I'm not figuring out grad anymore here. That's a bit foolish. Grad equals... Am I? Yeah, no, I'm really not. And I think it is just dx divided by dy, in this case, dx divided by dy. Well, that's one thing, but it's not much. Well, it might save an out of memory, out of a array index out of range. Oops. I still don't know why. I mean, I don't know why that would have meant a more vertical line would have been mistaken for being more horizontal. One moment. But let's see what it says now. That crashed it before, did it? No, I don't think it did. This one gave... Wow. That's interesting. Well, not that interesting. Let's have a look. Yeah, so it didn't change the fact that it got... that it misidentified one of the lines. dy, okay, so the first line it thinks starts at 0 with 0 gradient. Now the gradient there is 0. The gradient here, 0.988. Right, okay, now I'm pretty baffled. I am pretty baffled. On the one hand, if this second line is this, then this dy start could be interpreted as making more sense if it was actually the x start, which is out here, yeah, rounded down to number 4, to pixel 4. Yeah, that makes sense. 4.47, 4 and a bit. That sort of makes sense. Greater than 9.998. Now, if that was being misidentified, then it would be dividing. Well, and I can see why it's got this shape at 998. It's basically leading diagonally down. 988, sorry. I need more information. And I first get the first bit here. Debug right. dx plus. Actually, I'll make it a truncated float. I think I'm okay to do this. Just to... Okay, right. First off, I'm doing something really daft here. This shouldn't equal dy at this moment unless I fix dy. dy has to become... Oh, this is very silly. Has to become the start, which it is. OL SY. And the sign of dx, yeah, dx is okay because it's basically been replaced with this. dy from now on in my code refers to my cursor. Similarly here, dx equals OL SX. Did I get it right up here? Yeah, OL SY OL SX. Well, you know, that's a big thing. Off you go. Parse and cement. Time absolutely flies. Okay, go for baby. Still thinking they're both long x. X. Right, the x difference is that, which is right-ish. The y difference is that. This is right. Like, I think this first line is now being drawn kind of correctly. The second line kind of less so. X and y difference is being decided to be this, which is not what it should be. What happens if I just request a new one? First line looks kind of okay, second line is gibberish, and I think that maybe that that line drawing thing now is starting to get right. It has decided this line. That second line, the one that goes vertical. So I don't think I can make any determination about this. I have to go up and find where a line is vertical. dy equals 0, the line is horizontal. Dx equals 0, the line is vertical. Question mark. How is that a question mark? This surely is not a problem, is it? I am making... Is it just that I'm creating a problem somewhere down here by not making cx into px after all this stuff? Yeah, px equals cx, py equals cy. Si plus 2 next. So it comes in the other end here with, yeah, previous x then should equal the end of the first line, because that's what cx had just got set to. If cx is less than px, left equals cx, right equals px, also left equals px, right equals cx, left start equals true. Left starts as false, top starts as false. If cy is less than py, top is cy and bottom is py. Correct? Yeah. Else the top is py and the bottom is cy. And the top is aligned with the start of the line, the segment. That bit is, I think, correct. If the line's entirely on screen, I should test. You know, I'm going to have to do all these tests, so, but I may as well. Seeing as I'm here now, this line is vertical. I think this is the situation. I don't see how it's not. I suppose this is well, anyway. So the top here is less than 0. Well, sy, so the output line y value starts at 0 on the screen. That bit is, yeah, okay. Otherwise, the start output line start pixel y value is the top of the line. If that bit, then that bit. Now in the case of my line, the bottom is not. So it gets set to be the bottom. Well, end y equals the bottom. I don't set OL S. Look at that. There I set, when the line's horizontal, I set the y value. When the line's vertical, I neglect to set the the x value. OL S x equals it can equal either cx. Am I making a mistake? Like, I kind of am. I'm doing it strangely, haven't I? I mean, I can say px, and this should be fine, because they should be the same under these circumstances. It's when that line is horizontal or vertical. But okay, no, that's a big thing. That's certainly why that line would have been in a strange position. Let's just hold my breath and see what happens next. I have many states, you know, possible states for that line to test, or for those lines. straight off. Give me that. Look at that too, that's what I want to see. And these numbers, yeah, along Y. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I did line these up so that these lines should run straight down the middle of pixels, or more or less straight down the middle of pixels. And that is what it seems to have done. Now, how about this, mate? Give me that. Yeah, 2 pixels at the top, 3 pixels above, 1 pixel overlapping, 1 pixel to the left, 4 pixels, well, 1 spare pixel, 3 pixels of line, and a pixel overlapping. How about that? Okay, that went the wrong way. Interesting. I've just passed 32 minutes, and I'm going to have another coffee and a bit of a rest, but no, this is fine. That went the wrong way. It ended up in the right place. Well, that makes sense, does it? Yeah, this is the start of the line. It figured out this, this gradient incorrectly. So I need to think about that. But this little set of things is pleasing to me, because it means something slightly right is happening, and I bet it's that gradient, or is it the step? Let me think, actually, because that's a more vertical line. It's a more vertical line. Line start to line end, step the sign of difference y. This is an interesting thing. I wonder if that's not going to work. It's not the end of the world if it doesn't. Because it so happens that my previous example, both lines led in a positive direction. But that's a fairly easy one to fix, and I'm going to think about it shortly. If that is the problem, we'll see.